Morning, everybody. How you guys doing today? I got the bunks all filled up, and these girls didn't even come out to eat off of it yet. So that's telling you right there that they're quite happy and content and full, that they're not hungry. They're not coming to the bunks to chow down. Yeah, they could use some straw out here again. But today, temperature-wise, is it's supposed to warm up to like basically -3, -5, something like that. What? Big eyes. Big googly eyes. And she's got that lump, and I've broke it open a couple times over the years. Well, we've had her for 4 years, I think, now. And it just will not go away. It doesn't get any bigger, and it doesn't get any smaller than that. And it's hard now. So Miss 72 is a big honker. She's a tall cow. She's like a horse. Hey, you old batty biatch. She's on the cull list for this year, for 25. So, there's 61. Right there. She's mama to our solid black Max baby, if I remember correctly. 61, the black one. This girl right here. She's not a huge cow, but I think CP and I have got her slated, or him. So her calf from last year is a Max. She's a Sim Angus cross, 50-50. And then we had her bred to Max, who is a papered Simmental. And we're thinking we're going to be using her bull calf as a heifer bull, Miss 8. Or some people might recognize you from last year as Taylor Swift, because you had an attitude. One day you wanted to be a mama, and the next day you didn't, and then the next day you did. But anyways, so something I want to talk about, guys, is myself and Mr. Piper Doug both had comments from a gentleman who's kind of a know-it-all. And you know what? I'm going to call him out on it. One, he gave quite the comment on a video 2 videos ago, 3 videos ago, about CP's heifer that calved, basically bitching us out that we should have had a vet come in to pull the calf. Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Flatlander Express, I don't know this guy from Adam. He's Canadian. I believe, and don't quote me, he's either from Saskatoon or he's from Alberta. And every vet I have ever worked with, and I've been around cattle my whole life. If they can get the calf out through the back end, that's the way it's going to come out. And sometimes it comes out dead. Now, had he been watching our videos and listening to what I had said in our videos, he would have known that we lost the calf and that the calf was not a Simmental Charolais calf. So there you go, Mr. Flatlander Express. It was a bought calf that we are mothering up to CP's heifer, because we lost her calf during the calving process. So before you go making rude comments, make sure you know what the fuck you're talking about, you cocksucker. Secondly, are you jealous, Mr. Flatlander? Because we've got cattle and maybe you don't? And because we have a working facility that's indoors, you're telling me that I'm not a rancher because I have a handling system and working facility that's all indoors? Kiss my ass. I'm fortunate enough to have a building big enough to accommodate that system. So why wouldn't you put it indoors? That's the way I look at it. And I know a hell of a lot of ranchers that would love to be able to put their handling system indoors, and they just can't afford to put that building up, or they haven't got the space for it. And so, yeah. Anyways, so that's number 2 for you. And number 3 for you, Mr. Flatlander Express. Your comment about how I should be feeding my cut feed with a hot wire. Make the pile and just run a hot wire. Well, when we were feeding way over there, I moved my bunks 3 times, 3 different locations, to spread that manure around. I'm not going to touch that manure. I'm not going to hit it with a tractor. I'm not going to do anything like that. It's done already for me. See all this here? All this manure that's out here? It's going to stay here. It's going to become part of the ground. I have seen it firsthand where a couple of my neighbors decided, they saw BP grinding like 15, 20 years ago, and they figured, well, we don't want to have to go out there every day or every second or every third day like BP does, and they ran a hot wire. And a big bad snowstorm comes through, dumps 1.5 feet of snow, covers your solar panels, hot wire goes dead, cows go through hot wire because it's not hot anymore, it's just a piece of smooth wire, and destroyed the pile. because we had a nice winter prior to, and these guys took off and went on a holiday for a week. When they came home, the cows had destroyed the pile. They lost their pile. So how much money was lost there? They didn't lose it 100%, but they lost a lot of it. How much money was lost? You grind all that feed, and then you have the cows go up on the pile and shit and bed all over it. Once they shit and piss and bed all over it, they don't want to eat into it. So your hot wire thought is out to lunch. Secondly, if I did run a hot wire, well, then I'd have to have my bale stationed prior to grinding way the hell out here in the pasture. So then I gotta have a fenced off area for the bales prior to grinding. And on top of that, if I ran a hot wire around my pile and we did not have an issue with it, there's still gonna be way more waste coming off a hot wire than there would be from these cows eating on bunks. So you're gonna have a lot more waste. And secondly, all the manure. I've got enough feed in that pile to last for 2.5, 3 months. All that manure is in one frigging spot. Then you have to go in there and you got to haul the manure out. So obviously you have not done your math. Sure, it might be costing me a little more money because I'm coming out here 3 times with a bucket load to fill my bunks. It's 3 bucket loads. Big deal. I don't mind doing that. You want to know why? Because I get to come out and I get to see my cows every day. I'm not coming out here with a friggin' quad. I'll get stuck with the quad if they happen to get off the beaten trail. I can't move around. The snow's too deep for a quad out here. And I don't got a sled. So that means I'm still starting a tractor to come out here. Now, if Mr. Flatlander Express does have a bunch of cows, and he thinks he knows how to ranch and how to raise cattle and everything else, well, here you go, buddy. Put some videos out. I noticed you have a channel. Doesn't say on your channel where you're from, I don't think. You got a couple, 2 or 3 short videos and that's it. Well, show us how you do it. Since you're a professional, why don't you show all of us guys on YouTube how Mr. Professional does it? And that's all I have to say about that. Everybody else, thank you very much for all of your comments. You guys are awesome. And I welcome anybody to come out. Anybody is welcome at my place. Shoot me a message. Tell me, hey, BP, we're going to be in the area. Do you mind if we stop in? Most definitely. If I'm going to be home, most definitely. You're welcome to come out. We'll have a coffee, a beer, whatever. We'll have a good chit chat. I'm not afraid to show my place. I'm not afraid, obviously. Otherwise, if I didn't want people to know what I was doing, I wouldn't be on YouTube. If I didn't want people to see how BP and CP raise our livestock, I wouldn't be putting it on YouTube. If I wanted it to be a secret, I definitely wouldn't be on YouTube. I'm proud of what we've done, where we came from, what we've lost, and what we've gained, and what our accomplishments are. And it's been a tough life. I'm not going to say it hasn't been. It's been a very tough life. And life goes on. And the last few days have been really tough. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm feeding my cows, and there's a missing person out here. And when I say missing person, she had 3 legs and 4 legs and 3 feet. So it's been hard, and maybe that's why I'm so grouchy today. But Piper Doug has gotten a couple of comments from this same guy, and him and I talk quite a bit. And Piper Doug has an awesome channel, and he's doing the best he can, and he's raising some awesome animals. And you know, a guy can only do so much with at one time. So yeah, right now he's got some equipment breakdowns that are happening. We all get equipment breakdowns. And Mr. Flatlander Express, he has comments about Piper Doug's breakdowns, and he thinks he knows how to rectify that problem, and so on and so forth. Mr. Flatlander Express, you're a know-it-all nobody. It's the way I look at it. Anyways, I guess I could go on and on and on and bitch about this guy all day long. I've had lots of comments that have pissed me off over the last few years that I've been doing this YouTube thing. People think they know it all and whatnot, but none of them come out here and want to actually show me how they do it, or talk to me in person. They're just friggin' keyboard warriors. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is we'll get through this. And on average, I try not to let the YouTube warriors or comment warriors, keyboard warriors get to me. It's just this past couple days have been pretty tough, and this one definitely got to me. So there you go. I called him out on his comments. Let's see what happens. See if he'll put out a video and show all of us ranchers and farmers how we should be raising our livestock. You guys all have a good day. We'll talk to you later.